Welcome to the On Deck Podcast presented by LineStar. I'm Shannon Sommerville here with Tyler Wiemann on this Monday, August 8th, getting ready for a bit of a smaller slate for today in daily fantasy. We'll also have some prop bets for you and our home run calls. Today is International Cat Day to all you cat lovers out there. I don't have a cat. Do you have a cat?
Nope.
No cat for you?
No cat.
Okay, so we're not celebrating that
It's good
one,
you're not a cat lady.
but I am celebrating this next holiday, which is National Pickleball Day.
National
I love
Pickleball
me
Day.
some pickleball.
All right.
What a fun activity. If you haven't played, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I haven't played.
Let's take a look at some MLB storylines for today. The Cardinals have won 7 in a row, and it pains me after the first ever sweep of the Yankees. However, I'm not the only one in pain on this Monday. Dodgers have won 8 straight after sweeping the Padres. And the Mets lead the NL East 6.5 games after taking 4 of 5 from Atlanta.
It's a tough time for us. I let Dodgers sweep hurt.
Yep,
and
sure did.
I still have not responded to my dad from text on Friday.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I've just let them
We're
sit
just that
there.
level of petty.
I don't even want to go to it.
Speaking of petty, I loved Spencer Strider's parting words at the Mets when he was asked about the series, and he just said, hey, the Mets seem to be having a lot of luck right now offensively. That's great. It's August. We'll see what things are like in October. Some fighting words. Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, he means business.
I don't know about that.
Business.
In other news, added to my playlist, speaking of the Mets, added to my workout playlist, I have a new song on my playlist, courtesy of Edwin Diaz Walkout Song. If you haven't heard Edwin Diaz's Walkout Song, do yourself a favor, give it a listen. It's awesome. It's called Narco by Timmy Trumpet Blaster Jacks. It's pretty awesome. It'll get you pumped up. I was suggesting earlier that we listen to it every day before the show.
Yep,
and I am not a Mets fan, but I can appreciate a classic walkout song, especially when you're delivering 102-mile-an-hour fastballs, just striking guys out left and right. He has struck out over half the batters that he has faced.
He's had a great season. He's been amazing, for sure. This Cy Young talk for him needs to stop, though.
Think about facing Jacob deGrom and then, that's just unfair.
Yes, it's good.
It's pretty insane, though. Why do you think that needs to stop?
He's pitched 45 innings.
Yeah.
He doesn't affect the game enough to give him the Cy Young. He is only there if they're winning in certain situations.
Right. Not quite Cy Young-esque, I guess. You gotta throw some more innings.
That's my point.
Exactly. Yeah. I agree with you. I mean, he's pretty awesome, though.
He's been amazing. He's been unreal.
And the last of our storylines, breaking news, everyone. The Cleveland Guardians made the following roster move. They optioned the mustard hot dog to High A Lake County. The club did not make a corresponding move. This was an actual press release sent out by the Guardians, by the way. They apparently the mustard hot dog and their mustard hot dog race has just struggled at a historic pace this season, failing to secure a victory in any of the first 50 Sugardale hot dog races at Progressive Field in 2022. And if you were wondering, because I know you are, Ketchup and Onion are both tied with 25 wins each. So they're thinking to send them back down to the minors. Get the mental stuff worked out to get the call back up to the big leagues. But it's
a rough day for mustard.
Spawned a justice for mustard. Hashtag for Guardians fans.
Yep. Got to start somewhere.
Let's talk about today's slate of games, and we'll first get a few weather notes out of the way for you. We've got Toronto at Baltimore. A stray shower may hit, but solid hitting weather. 88 degrees, 8-mile-an-hour winds to left center. And at Citi Field, storms should hold west. Solid hitting weather there as well. 86 degrees and 13-mile-an-hour winds out to left. And at Wrigley Field, a bit of the opposite. We've got wind blowing in at 15 miles an hour, so a little pitcher bump in that game. If you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. Let us know where you're headed and if you're Team Mustard or if you also like Edwin Diaz's Walkout Song and if you have also added it to your workout playlist. Please let me know. Tyler, you don't seem to be a fan of the Edwin Diaz song.
No, I like it.
You like it?
Yeah, it's a good song.
You know,
Yep.
like that trumpet. Yeah.
Yep. It's just like my old Mexico shirt, as Red Hood would say.
Okay. Let's get to our chalk report for today and our high-owned pitchers for today. We'll start off with Padres lefty Blake Snell going up against the Giants, 42% owned on both sites. He's got a 4.16 ERA, 2.22 opponent average. He has been kind of crushing it the past few games. Last game held the Rockies to just 1 earned run in 6 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts for him. So he's been kind of finding his groove over the past 3 appearances, an ERA of 1.06. So are you liking his matchup for today against the Giants?
Yeah, Snell has been really good lately and amazing at home. All season, his home road splits do favor him being home. So we like this matchup. 28% combined K rate. He's a 2.8 FIP. Only downside I'm seeing is his StatCast data is a little sketchy. 34% hard contact, pretty high average exit velocity. The one thing, though, to counteract that, in 48 plate attempts, the Giants are hitting 167 with a 31% K rate versus him. Mm-hmm. So I think you got to like Snell here. We have a 5-star alert score. It's the highest projection. There's a lot to like. The pitching slate today is not very good. Mm-hmm. So I think we're going to have to eat some chalk.
Sure. How about Diamondbacks righty Zach Gallen going up against the Pirates? And this 40% owned on DraftKings, 19% owned on FanDuel. 3.31 ERA for Gallen, 2.06 opponent average, so solid numbers there. And today he's facing a Pirates team that ranks 28th in terms of average versus right-handed pitching. Are you liking this play for today given that anemic Pirates team?
Yes. Of the 3 chalky pitchers we're going to talk about, Gallen's definitely the third on the list as far as, my thinking. But 4-star alert rating. He's been good. 3.7 FIP. Over his last 5, though, it's a 3.4 FIP, 23.6% combined K rate. And again, like you said, it's just a poor Pittsburgh offense, so you're picking on them. They are also minus 240 favorites, so pretty heavy favorites.
All right. Mets righty Chris Bassett going up against the Reds. 35% owned on DraftKings, 26% owned on FanDuel. 3.61 ERA for Bassett, 2.28 opponent average, and great outing. Held national scoreless through 7 last time out. Just 4 strikeouts there, but when you're looking at the Cincinnati Reds team, again, a team that is rather anemic at the plate, 23rd versus right-handed pitching. So a good favorable matchup for the Mets righty.
Yeah, it is a good favorable matchup. Bassett looks great. Reds traded some players away at the deadline, so that lineup is even worse than it was. He has a 5-star alert rating, second highest projection on Linestar, 23% combined K rate, which isn't the highest. So we're going to really need him to kind of limit runs for him to pay off with that. But everything looks good with him. The one minus is the weather. We have great hitting weather.
Yeah.
So wind blowing out, high 80s.
Uh-oh.
So
let's take a look at some low-owned pitchers for today. The first guy we're going to talk about is Mariners righty Logan Gilbert going up against the Yankees today. Just 16% owned on DraftKings and just 2% owned on FanDuel. And he's got solid numbers. 3.09 ERA, 2.39 opponent average. Last game against the Yankees, he did give up 6 earned in 5 1/3, just 2 strikeouts. Although this Yankees team, actually since the All-Star break, their batting average as a team ranks 15th. So not as scary as you like to think.
And we've seen this out of the Yankees where they are streaky. Mm-hmm. They do kind of rely on that home run and the big hit. And when they don't get it, things kind of go poorly for them. But Gilbert's a very good young pitcher. He hasn't been great lately, but we're getting a discounted price for him. 3.9 over the last 20 as far as his FIP number. Like you said, it is a scary Yankees offense, but they did just get swept. Mm-hmm. They haven't been good since the All-Star break. And in 40 plate attempts versus them, the Yankees are only hitting 189. And we have a 22% combined K rate for him today. So I do think there's some positives here. It is a tough matchup, but not many people are going to go there. Mm-hmm. So I like the leverage you can get with Gilbert.
How about Cubs righty Keegan Thompson? Today, Thompson's going up against the Nationals. He's 25% owned on DraftKings, 7% owned on FanDuel. He's got a 3.48 ERA, 2.49 opponent average, and he actually has better home splits. And today, when I talked about the weather earlier, it's very much a pitcher bump today at Wrigley.
Yeah.
You know, that how that field plays, just completely dependent on where the wind's blowing.
Wind and temperatures. Wind's coming in strong. He scores almost 68% more fantasy points at home. So you add that in with the weather bump, and it's a really nice spot, especially against a bad Washington offense.
Yeah.
Cubs are heavy minus 190 favorites. We have a 5-star alert score. So there's a lot to like about Keegan. He's super cheap. He's obviously not going to give you the upside of, a Snell or something, but for his price on DK, I would absolutely consider him.
All right. Now let's take a look at our stacks for today and the teams that we're going to for our hitters. We'll talk about the high-owned stacks for today, talking about the Mets going up against Reds righty Justin Dunn. Looking at Justin Dunn's numbers, 3.75 ERA, 2.01 opponent average, so not bad stats, but he hasn't gone past 3 innings in the last 2 starts. And when you're looking at the Mets, this is the team that is the hottest since the All-Star break.
Yeah, and I think the Mets today with this hitting weather really should be getting like a Coors-like ownership bump, but it's not totally happened. So they might be actually a little under-owned for this position that they're in.
Yeah.
Dunn hasn't been good, 6.75 ERA in the minors this season, and that is over A and AAA ball. So it's not even like, he pitched games in A+. Anyways, he's also 5.4 FIP guy over the last 20 starts. So Dunn hasn't been good. We have nice hitting weather. Cincinnati bullpen isn't good. And the Mets have been hot. 5.8 Vegas total here, by far the highest run total. So.
All right. Let's look at the Blue Jays. They're going up against Orioles righty Jordan Lyles, who's got a 4.40 ERA, 2.76 opponent average. He is coming off a good outing against the Rangers. He just gave up 1 earned run, and he did rack up 7 strikeouts and 6 1/3 against the Rangers. However, the Blue Jays best average as a team versus right-handed pitching.
Yes, and he's an okay pitcher. He's not bad. He does have his starts, but he's allowing 53% fly balls. He's bottom 20% in exit velocity and in barreled balls. And Toronto in 53 plate attempts against him is hitting 277 with 5 home runs and a 404 ISO. It's almost 10% of the plate attempts go for a home run.
Wow.
So the Vegas implied total's 5. I think there's a lot to like about Toronto today.
D-backs going up against Pirates righty Tyler Beede, who's got a 3.89 ERA, 2.59 opponent average, which is not bad numbers, but last outing did give up 4 earned runs in just 1 1/3. Doesn't go far into games, and however, the D-backs, hitting isn't great. However, if you're going to play them, I guess today's the day to do that.
Yeah, and Arizona is just kind of the chalky value offense for today. And, it makes sense. Beede doesn't go far into games. Pittsburgh bullpen isn't that great. We have a 4.8 implied total. So they're okay. My thing is I just don't like following meh offenses when they're chalky.
Exactly. Let's take a look at some low-owned plays, see where we can find a little bit of leverage on this smaller slate for tonight. Cubs going up against Nationals righty Anibal Sanchez, who's got a 7.65 ERA, just hasn't been that good for the Nationals.
He has allowed 18 runs in 20 innings this year. And he's worse on the road. So 6.7 FIP and 30 plate attempts. The Cubs are hitting 310 off him with 2 home runs and a 345 ISO. Really the only reason this run total isn't higher is because of the wind coming in. If the wind was going out, they would probably have the highest run total on the slate.
Of the day. Yeah. All right, let's talk a little bit about the Mariners. They're going up against Yankees righty Jameson Taillon, who's got a 3.96 ERA, 2.52 opponent average, and he did give up 2 bombs last game against the Mariners. 5 earned runs in 4 2/3. So the Mariners have hit him before. You think they're going to do it again today?
I do, and Taillon hasn't been great on the road either. He's averaging 33.6% less fantasy points when away. He has a 5.6 FIP. And he's walking 3.6 batters per 9 over his last 5. So he just hasn't been good. Hasn't been able to find the strike zone. He's allowing 44% fly balls. bottom 10% in barrel balls. And Seattle has a 173 ISO versus righties. So I think there's a lot to like about Seattle.
All right. So some good plays there for daily fantasy. Remember that ownership stats that Tyler was talking about. You can find them on the Linestar app, linestarapp.com. Check it out. All of the information you need to dominate your daily fantasy lineups for the day. And right now we will pull up the Linestar app to have us get our daily sleeper picks. And on DraftKings, our sleeper pick of the day is going to be Aristides Aquino going up against Chris Bassett today. $2,000. Nice price right there. If we pull up his player card to learn a little bit more about this matchup and why he is 3.6 times his value for today. As you can see, he's been pretty good in fantasy, and he has scored 6 fantasy points per game in the past 2 games. Batting third, that's what he's projected to be. Wind is blowing out. Again, favorable conditions at Citi Field today for hitters, so we're liking this play, even though Bassett, you got a good pitcher in there. It's a nice value play on DraftKings. Let's take a look at FanDuel. And the FanDuel sleeper pick of the day is going to be Austin Slater of the Giants going up against Blake Snell today. And he's coming in at $2,500 on DraftKings, so some good value there. And you can see yesterday he went 1 for 2 with a double, a walk, a stolen base, and an RBI, so some nice value the past couple games for him. You can see 19 fantasy points and 12 fantasy points, so he's had a pretty good past couple of games. Probably batting leadoff, and he is a top 15% hitter versus lefty pitchers for today, so pretty good. He has scored 13.23 fantasy points per game in the past 3 games, so a nice matchup for Slater today. $2,500, a nice bargain that you can get in there, so you can get some of your more expensive bats in there as well for daily fantasy. So those are our daily fantasy sleeper picks of the day. Make sure to check out linestarapp.com for all of the information you need to dominate your fantasy league. Now for our home run calls of the day. Tyler, where are you headed for your home run call today?
I'm going with a guy who I think he was named incorrectly by his parents. We're going with Daniel Vogelback, or I always like to call him Tank. Tank, 2 home runs in the last 7 days. He crushes righties with a .541 slugging percentage. And we have Justin Dunn, who is not a great pitcher. He has a 6.75 ERA in the minors, and the Reds' bullpen is bad. Add in great hitting weather, and I think Vogelback is going yard.
Well, I like your logic there, Vogelback. Did you also see how he runs the bases? It was very Bartolo Colon-esque.
It was.
The way he rounded those bases over the weekend.
It was definitely a big sexy element.
So I'm going to go with Daniel Vogelback's Bash brother, if you will. I'm going with Pete Alonso. He's definitely getting a bomb today. Like you mentioned, that Reds bullpen, they have the highest home run per 9 rate in all of baseball. And you mentioned Dunn, not a good pitcher. Well, another guy, Pete Alonso, who just absolutely crushes righties. He's had 3 home runs in the past week. So I'm saying another polar bear bomb. We're going with the Bash Brothers bombs for today. I like it.
All in on the Mets.
All in on Mets for today.
Yep.
Now let's take a look at our prop bets of the day. You can play along with our prop bets as well. And for a chance to win $60, all you have to do is on our YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe, like this video, and comment below, and you're automatically entered into the contest. So if both Tyler and I both hit our props for today, then you could possibly win that. We'll announce that tomorrow if both of us hit it. And again, they're all available on Underdog Sports app. If you were a new user to Underdog and you don't have Underdog right now, get it right now. The link is below. New users who deposit at least $10 can get up to $100 matched, just like that, plus 3 free months of LineStar. So all the good deals right there. You can see all of that info below. So now let's get to our prop bets of the day on Underdog Sports app. Tyler, where are you headed for your prop?
Well, I hope your home run hits and you get a polar bear bomb, because if you do, I will be hitting my prop. We are going Pete Alonso over 1.5 total bases. On sportsbooks, it's -145. Underdog, it's pretty much even money. So Alonso is hitting .370 over the last week. He's going against a poor pitcher with even a worse bullpen. Great hitting weather, so sign me up for the polar bear over.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty hot right now.
Yeah.
I'm going with Orioles catcher Adley Rutschman over 0.5 runs. Now, this is minus 120 on the sports books. He has hit that mark in 9 of the last 12 games. Today, probably batting second, so he's in a good spot there. And going up against Toronto Blue Jays' Yusei Kikuchi, who does kind of get blown up from time to time and give up quite a bit of runs. He also doesn't last that long into games, probably 6 innings maximum. So you're going to rely on that Blue Jays bullpen, which is kind of middle of the pack. They rank, I think, 16th in terms of ERA. So I think Adley Rutschman is in a really good spot to hit that 1 run. Is all we need. I think he gets that for today. So some good props there for you, available on the Underdog Sports app. Yeah. Remember to comment below, like, subscribe, and comment for your chance to win.
I do like that Rutschman one. I kind of like Baltimore today hitting too. As we know, Kikuchi's like boom or bust. So Baltimore could be a nice little spot.
Yeah. And I always like to go against Yusei Kikuchi because he does give up a ton of home runs.
He does.
I think one top 10 highest among qualified pitchers. So
yep, and nice hitting weather. Only bummer about home runs is it's Baltimore.
Yeah, that's true. We don't like Baltimore anymore for home runs.
We used to love it.
We used to love it.
Such a shame.
Such a shame. What'd you do? I was listening to an interview recently about like what's the clubhouse reaction to it, and I guess the consensus is, I mean, they gave the typical like, we just want to win ball games kind of thing, but you can kind of tell that they're a little annoyed with it, or at least the hitters, obviously. Yeah,
and I guess the whole reason they did it was because they think their team is better suited for a bigger ballpark.
Right.
And not the home runs.
Yeah, so. Interesting though, especially given in this day and age when you want to attract fans. And what do fans want to go? Fans want to just go see.
Chicks dig the long ball, as they say.
All right, that's our show for today. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below, and sign up for LineStar, LineStarApp.com. Check that out as well. That's going to do it for us today. I'm still got that song in my head.
Oh, you're still going with it.
The Edwin Diaz Walk out song still in my head.
Let's go for a Padres and Yankees win today.
Let's get it. Let's get back on track. Yeah. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Have a good one, guys. Bye.